In this demo, we will see how we can convert an existing aggregate to a SQL query. Inside Service Studio, we have a screen with the Get Orders aggregate. Let's start by adding a data action to the screen. The reason we need a data action is because SQL queries can only be executed inside a server-side flow. Let's now cut the screen aggregate and paste it inside the flow of the data action. This makes it part of the flow. Service Studio has the capability to convert aggregates to SQL queries. To use it, open the aggregate. Double-click the executed SQL property to see the actual SQL code of the aggregate. In the pop-up dialog, a button that will convert the aggregate into a SQL. Confirm the action. Note that this should only be done when you want to modify your query and need a feature only available in SQL. As you can see, the output of the SQL query is not optimized at all, since it will fetch all columns of the entity. We also have the old aggregate disabled in the flow. You may delete it if you don't need it. We're almost done. We just need to set the output of the data action. Finally, assign the output of the SQL to the output variable of the data action. Everything is ready on the logic side. We now have to rewire the user interface to use the output of the data action instead of the aggregate. We have a few errors on expressions that were linking to the aggregate we had previously. These expressions will now be updated to use the output of the data action. Now the due date expression. And the last one remaining is the table. To recap, we created a data action, then converted the existing aggregate to an SQL, and after that we fixed the user interface to now use the data action output instead of the aggregate. Let's just confirm that all data shows up as expected. And there we have it. Remember that with SQL queries the select clause is not optimized automatically. It is up to you to make sure it is optimized. When possible, use aggregates instead of SQL queries. And SQL query should only be used when you want to execute custom queries that cannot be defined with an aggregate.